What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So today we're actually gonna have the meta shift from week 1 to 2 to week 3 and 4, which changes the nodes. And let's go over what is gonna change. So whenever the attacker dodges an attack, both champions are inflicted with heal block, taunt, disorient, which those are only 10%, but that's not the issue. The issue is this next, the next node, steady build up unblockable. So the defender has 100% increased defensive ability actually. That on its own is really good for some defenders. But when the attacker has 3 or more debuffs, the defender becomes unblockable until the attacker has 0 debuffs. And when you purify a debuff, you become unblockable for 7 seconds. So there's like a benefit if you do that. So you know, most of the best attackers are gonna be skill champions. Because skill champions, every 5 critical hits, they purify all non-damaging debuffs. So, you know, if you dex once, you have to wait for 7 seconds for the opponent to stop being unblockable. Or you're going to have to purify or have to play around the unblockable. So that's actually going to be pretty interesting because, you know, specials are going to be fully unblockable as well. And then also, if you critical hit, you have a 50% chance to get an indefinite steadfast charge, which allows you to block an unblockable hit. So let's see, the best attackers for this meta, obviously it's going to be skill champions, but I think some champions from the other classes could be really good as well, such as Cassie. You know, Cassie, if you get the opponent in the corner, you can pretty much phase every single special, so you don't have to dex. And also her power sinks are not affected by, you know, any damage reduction, which is the taunt, which is 10% for each taunt. So she's going to have like pretty much normal damage because that most of her damage is from power sinks. I think Scorpion is going to be really good because he's going to allow you to block unblockable specials, and he also has the heal on the Petrify. So look at this. When the opponent is inflicted with a taunt, Scorpion can block unblockable specials. And you don't have to go for the SP1 in this meta because if you dex once, both you and the opponent are inflicted with a taunt debuff. So Scorpion is going to be able to block every single unblockable special as long as you dex once. So that's actually going to be pretty huge for him. I also think Silk is going to be good sometimes because she can, like, you know, fully dex one of the opponent's special, even if it's like mcoc SP2. So that should be really helpful as well. And then same thing with Titania, you might be able to like tank some of those specials with being indestructible. And actually, I think someone that's going to be really good is Miles, because the opponent is going to be unblockable most of the time, and you can control when they're going to be unblockable. So if you dex once, you can pretty much phase every single hit as long as you have Spider Cam active. So I think Miles might actually be included in my deck this time. And then now, obviously, some skill champions. I'm just gonna, you know, name the ones that I think are gonna be the best. Black Cat, Crossbones with, you know, high sig is gonna be amazing. Kate, really strong. Kingpin, here's the thing. Kingpin is gonna be super crazy, but you have to remember that every single fight, the opponent is gonna start unblockable because you're gonna start with like 4 rage or 5 rage. I don't know how much you start with, which means the opponent, you know, is gonna be unblockable. Because look at this. When the attacker has 3 or more debuffs, the defender becomes unstoppable. So do not start any fight by parrying with Kingpin. That's the only thing. He's gonna be amazing. He's gonna cheat like everyone, but you have to remember they're gonna be unblockable. Then Killmonger actually might have some crazy interactions with the debuffs on him. Might get like stupid amount of power. I think Matt is gonna be really fast. Massacre crits a lot. Moleman can ramp up really nicely in this meta. Moondragon could potentially be decent. You know, of course, Nick Fury is gonna be amazing with Tipoons. Shang-Chi really good for the node. He also has a cleanse, shield as well. And then Stealth has really huge crit rate, so he should be able to like purify a lot of those debuffs, become unblockable on his own. And then Valkyrie, I think those are going to be the best ones. Potentially Hitmonkey as well. Moving on to the mutant class. Archangel is going to be really good. He can probably hack the node. So yeah, you know, it's going to be pretty good. Magneto can probably hack the node on metal champions. I also think Sunspot, if you parry 1 hit from the opponent's special, you can just perfect block every single hit from it. So that should be really nice. As long as the opponent is not unblockable. And then Kitty Pryde, if you're in a tough spot, you can just phase the special. And, you know, with Kitty, you never really parry. So, you know, even if they're unblockable, it doesn't matter, right? And moving on to the tech class, I think Fam should be really good if you know how to use them, where, you know, just power drain the opponent left and right. Don't let them throw a special. They don't, you know, you don't need to dex. So I think he should be really good. I think Ghost can be amazing as well. You know, if you don't give the opponent too much power, get your power by phasing so you don't have to dex. Hulkbuster, same thing with Fam. He can probably power drain the opponent so you don't have to like throw any specials or bait any specials. I think Iron Man, the OG, is going to be really, really good because, you know, his playstyle is like parrying specials. So, you know, if you parry all those specials or block them or whatever, he's going to ramp up with his armor ups. And you're never going to have to worry about the opponent being unblockable. I think Lady Deathstrike could be okay. You know, she has some, like an ability where she heals special damage. She should be, like, good if you don't have any other options. I also think Red Skull is pretty good with the power drain, and same thing with Warlock. So you just avoid baiting a lot of specials, and, you know, some specials they just force you to dex. I also think, you know, here from the Cosmic class, Adam Warlock, you know, he doesn't have anything from the node, but Adam Warlock, you play him without parrying anyway. It's almost like the opponent is fully unblockable. So, you know, with actually the taunt, if you dex, you're gonna place another taunt debuff. You know, he's got an indefinite one, but if you place another one, maybe they have a higher chance to throw their specials, and they might not ruin your rotation. So that actually could be interesting. And then the only one that I think is going to be like pretty good for this one, probably CGR. He can just finish fights really fast. With CGR, you don't want to dex at all until you get that precision. So probably doesn't matter for CGR in this meta, but I'm pretty excited to use him. And then for Mystics, I believe Doom with his power control pretty strong. I think Absman could be really nice if you want to block any type of special attack, no matter if it's energy or, you know, physical, you could just choose. And then also I believe Jugs might make a comeback. As long as you never dex with Juggernaut, which, you know, the fight doesn't last too long anyway, he's probably going to be a beast. Now let's get on to the defenders. The defenders here are going to be really spicy. So starting off from the Science class, I-Bomb. He has a higher chance to apply poisons because of this increased defensibility accuracy. Now that's going to be really huge for a lot of defenders. And also he applies weakness from the SP1, Petrify from the SP1. So he's going to become unblockable really, really soon. Cassie also has an evade, so that's a higher chance of it happening. Same thing with Mr. Fantastic. Photon is going to have pretty much guaranteed chance to apply energy vulnerability when you hit it with light attack, so that's going to be really, really fun. I also think Scorpion is going to be really annoying because he's always annoying, but now with increased defensibility accuracy, he's going to suck. And then pretty much all Spider-Mans, like Piggy is going to suck, this guy is going to suck, and then Spider-Gwen is going to be just a pain. Also, I think Spot could be an annoying defender because he's got a 20% chance to get a spot, but with that defensive ability accuracy, probably going to be really annoying. And then the best defender of this meta is probably going to be Void, because you dex once, you get 3 different debuffs on you. Yeah, you're just going to die if you don't have any Purify. This guy is just, you need a counter for him. Same thing with Jessica Jones. If you dex once, she places more investigation on you, which means unstoppable. So, you know, the only thing about those two guys is that they are science. So, you know, most people are going to have skill champs in this meta, so you might have a good time against them. There's also going to be Hulk. You know, if he gets to his Gamma Rage, he's going to place physical vulnerabilities on you, which means he's going to be fully unblockable when you get 3. So that's pretty terrifying, fighting a Hulk that's unblockable. And also Sandman plays some debuffs through. Joe Fixit plays some debuffs when you pop the special. So, you know, if you get an unblockable Joe Fixit and you pop a special one, that's not going to go too well. And there's also Overseer with the special concussions. He's going to be unblockable very, very soon. And lastly, Quicksilver, which I think is just going to be super, super annoying. You know, he places the slow on you. He places whiplashes on you. You're also going to have the other debuffs on you. So he's going to be unblockable for the most time. And yeah, you can't even use Miles against him because you just bypass his miss. So that guy, if you cannot kill him fast, he's going to kill you for sure. So yeah, I think I'm just probably going to add Quicksilver for defense in this meta. But yeah, I guess we'll see. There's also going to be, you know, those skilled champions that Purify and benefit from it are going to be really good. Like Kingpin, Korg, Moleman is going to be really nice. Fury, unblockable in Fury, right? Like easy. And then also Killmonger, you know, you're going to place debuffs on him, which means he's going to get insane power gain. So be careful on that one. And then from your class, I think Bishop is going to be pretty strong. Because if you fight an unblockable Bishop, it's really tough to like bait a heavy when the opponent is unblockable to not allow him to do a special one. So I think it's going to be really terrifying. And also, unblockable SP2 isn't the easiest thing against Bishop. Now there's Nightcrawler with his evade. That's going to be fun with increased investibility accuracy. Good thing is you can switch him. Then it's going to be APOC if you dex once. Unblockable special one is really tough, not going to lie. Like I can't really do it consistently. And I'm not even going to try to unless I'm just not going to survive it. There's also going to be Domino, which I don't think, because of this node, I don't think you can use Nimrod or Shuri for this time. I don't think so, but I'm going to test it out. There's also going to be Havoc. He also plays his own debuffs through, block or anything. So he's going to be unblockable pretty much the whole fight as well. And then Onslaught. Oh god, Onslaught is just going to be such a pain. I'm glad I'm just auto-banning this guy, so I'm just not have to fight him. That's going to be a tough one too. Another class here, we got Tech class. Fam. Increased chance to glance, that's always fun. Guillotine is going to be having increased chance to, do her miss thing. And it's going to be really tough to find an opening if she's unblockable. So you can like parry, knock her down. I think Arm Infinity War with his Arbor Ups is going to auto block. That's going to be a pain. And also Penny with higher chance to auto block. And then from the Cosmics, there is someone that's going to be really, really interesting. And that's a Nihilus. If you, I don't know where it says it, but basically if you put a taunt on a Nihilus, yeah, I really don't know. Yeah, when taunted, gain true accuracy, unblockable, and unstoppable. So if you taunt him, which is basically if you dex him, he's just gonna get that, which it's kind of terrifying with also his unstoppable. So that's something to keep in mind. If you see an Nihilus in the deck, actually be afraid of him. Hulkling, you can't really block his special, so you're gonna have to dex. You're gonna have to fight an unblockable Hulkling, so that's not easy. And then Maestro, same thing. He's just gonna have unblockable SP1. That's not easy either. And Null is gonna actually, if he's high sig, he's probably gonna start the fight being unblockable because he's gonna place a lot of debuffs on you. And then lastly, we got the Mystic class, which I don't think there's gonna be too crazy. The meta itself is going to be tough, but I don't think the defenders of the Mystic class are going to be too crazy. Mephisto, the only thing here is he's immune to passive ability accuracy modification. So I don't think this node works against him, which if it did, that was going to be insane. And like increased chance to apply the aura, that would be sick, but they capped it out, unfortunately. But still, I think it's just going to prolong the fight. Sasquatch, if you get like taunts on you, where you just have to dex a special one, less damage against 400k health pool, it's probably going to be a timeout, unless you got a really strong science. And then Mangog, if he just gets the special 2 and it's unblockable, it's over. And then Dragon Man, I find he might actually be a pain with how much distance he covers throughout the map, because if he has unblockable special 1 or special 2, it's definitely not the easiest one to deal with. So yeah, man, I'm pretty excited for this meta. Actually, I think it's gonna be a tough one, and I might actually be streaming today when it drops, just so I can try it out. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think about this meta. Anyone that I forgot, it's gonna be really good on defense or offense. Let me know in the comments, and hopefully this video helped you. And if it did, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.